Yep.
Hello, welcome back to Choppin It. I'm Shatari.
I'm Torshay.
And Zion's not here tonight, so we want to give her a shout out. She forgot about the little program, but it's all good. Number one rule, consistency is everything.
Everything.
People make time for what they want to make time for, but we respect it. So today's drink of choice is going to be some hard strawberry lemonade and chips and salsa. So we're just chilling today. I hope everyone's had a great New Year's. Obviously we're in the second week and we already got some drama. Yeah, I'm sad I had a topic to talk about tonight, but shit, no topic tonight but the obvious. You know what I'm saying? What happened at the state capitol?
Man.
I mean, I don't think that we have ever in the United States of America's history seen what we seen this past week. It was appalling, it was shocking, it was jaw-dropping, and it was pretty much just downright unbelievable, especially for us with a little melanin, you know, and I think that it's safe to say what's understood don't need to be discussed. We all thinking the same thing right now, you know what I'm saying? We all feel the same way right now.
Every single one of us.
Every single one of us. But I did see a very powerful post on social media. This is not our fight as people of color. This is not our issue. So we should stand down and continue to do what we've been doing. Being oppressed and working. But yeah, it was just a crazy day in history to see that. And to especially say that our country spends so much time trying to have other countries adopt democracy, you know, to turn around and not be able to show a solid trend of democracy in our own country. You know, it's kind of baffling. It's kind of comical at the same time. But more importantly, it's embarrassing. It was embarrassing that day to be an American. It was embarrassing to just let the world see how our government gets down, you know, and unfortunately the same government that tries to control everything, tries to dictate everything, were unable to dictate or control what happened the other day with them breaching the state capitol. So definitely hope that there are some repercussions for that treason act.
Did they capture a boy? I think I read something.
I think they did. I think the one that had his feet on Pelosi's desk. I want to say that they did identify him. But the bottom line is hopefully they'll have up to 400 or 500 charges like they did during the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, at the end of the day, we're not trying to say to treat us any kind of way. We're just trying to say treat us the way you treat everybody else. So that's it. I don't really want to talk too much about that crap because that's a joke to me. At this point, the whole presidential elect situation, nomination, votation, everything that comes with it has just been a joke, you know. But I do want to focus in today on a small topic, and we won't keep you long. I will kind of chop it up with you for about 10-15 minutes, but I want to kind of touch on domestic violence this evening. I want to bring an awareness like no other, because 2021, obviously we've all went through a lot in 2020. We've all learned how to maneuver. We've all learned how to pull audibles. We've all learned how to basically exist with many moving parts. So since we've learned so much in 2020, hopefully in 2021 we can take some of that that we've exposed ourselves to mentally, physically, and psychologically and apply it to a great part of our lives. So I just kind of want to touch on domestic violence really, really quick because I feel like it's something that every woman deals with. There's many different types of domestic violence. You got physical, you got mental, you got psychological, and you got emotional. And so,
Sexual.
Which one?
No, that's not domestic. Sorry, that's sexual.
What?
I said sexual abuse.
No, sexual abuse can be domestic violence. I mean, when a woman feels forced by her mate to please him, even when she's not in the state of mind to do so, to me, you know, that's forcibly, you know what I'm saying, making someone do something outside of their comfort zone. So I would think that that's a type of abuse. You know, abuse is when you are pretty much treating someone in a manner that they do not want to be treated in, they don't deserve to be treated in, and you're pretty much just taking authoritarianship over them, and having control. I kind of want to touch on the psychological part of domestic violence. You know, we all know about the physical part, the hitting. And I'm just going to put this out there. If you're out there and you're letting someone hit or beat on you, just know that there's a world full of opportunity and willing people who will love you without you having to endure that type of situation or behavior. So we're not going to touch on the physical part of domestic violence, because I feel like if anyone stays in a relationship that's physical, at that point it's self-inflicted, because woman nor man should put their hands on one another. Communication is the key. If you can't communicate, you need to go decompress somewhere until you can communicate. And if you just can't pass that obstacle or that hump, you might have to reconsider who you're dealing with.
And not only that, I just like to say, like, any type of abuse, it isn't love. I know a lot of people mistake, oh, he loves me, so he hits me. It's not love if you're getting hit or beat on. It is not love.
No. But and that's the problem, sis, because that's what the mentality is. You know, I remember when I was young, my first baby daddy, his girl, who I didn't know he was with, you know, because men play games, don't be honest, you know, so here we are, two women looking dumb. But long story short, you know, I'm looking at her like, okay, well, every time I do see them together, you guys are always arguing, because mind you, I'm in a house, she's pulling up, he's outside with her, so I'm being nosy looking out the window, and all I'm seeing him is just you know what I'm saying? Talking to her, calling her all kind of bitches. And so in my mind, I'm looking like, oh, well, what he told me must be true, because by the way he treating her, they can't possibly be together, you know? So when I did find out later on that they were actually still involved, it was just like, well, based off of what I seen, I had no idea that y'all was, it didn't look good to me. You know, and her exact response was, well, he beat me because he loved me. Well, you can have all of that love, honey. I'm not into the beating because you love me. I'm not into starting no argument because we can have makeup sex. I'm not into none of that, you know. At a certain point, there's a respect level between a man and a woman and a woman, or a man and a man, whatever your sexual relationship preference is. But if you cannot communicate, then obviously there's still some maturing that needs to be done on that individual's part. You know, and my thing is, when it comes to the psychological abuse for women, it puts us in a place where we feel like we can't elevate. You know what I'm saying? We get trapped into these relationships. Before you know it, the man has captured our minds to where we no longer make ourselves up to look pretty, because every time we get up and go out somewhere is, oh, who you going to see? You know, that's all that psychological abuse. That's just to keep control over you. You know, I can get up and put some heels on and just go to the store. I ain't got to be going to see nobody.
It's for me.
Ain't nobody looking at me like that. But because you keep putting that in my head, now you got me going outside with sweats and Nikes on all the time. You know, so now I don't feel as beautiful as I used to feel, which is the first start of psychological abuse. You know what I'm saying? Then it begins with, you know, he's going out somewhere, but then when it's your turn to go out somewhere, it's always an argument. You know what I'm saying? There's always an uncomfortable vibe in the house to where you got to second guess whether or not you want to go out,
because lying,
you know, and when you come back, you don't want no issues, so you try to just be, you know, a little bit more fair to him. But there's no such thing as fair. You know, if you get to do something, I get to do something. You know what I'm saying? If it's good for the gander, it's good for the geese sometimes. You know. The other thing about it is just the dependency, you know, again, talking about psychological abuse, you know, a man becomes so dependent on a woman to where a woman starts treating a man like her child. You know what I'm saying? And before you know it, you're at work and he got the car, but he ain't got shit to do all day. You know what I'm saying? He need money for lunch because he ain't bringing in an income. He can't go pick your kids up from school because he hanging with his boys with your car. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to call friends, family to make arrangements to take care of your personal business. But mind you, half the time they acting that way because that don't even be their kid. They the stepdad anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the psychological abuse always comes from the relationship that we're trying to get into to fill the void. You know what I'm saying? And we just get engulfed in it. And before you know it, we're second guessing what's right or what's wrong, even though we know in our hearts what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And well, I don't want to leave him because, he ain't never had love before. And, when he was younger, he was molested or abused or, he's not like that all the time. Right. He just trips every now and then. Or, girl, he's just really insecure about me. No, like, at the end of the day, it's not for a woman to make an excuse for a grown-ass man. Everybody has their trials and tribulations. As an adult, everybody goes through what they need to go through. As a woman, you cannot raise no man. And if you get into a situation where you feel like you're raising a man because you're being the breadwinner or you're making all the decisions, you have just entered into psychological abuse. Period. We have to learn how to break that cycle. We have to learn how to be independent. We have to learn how to say what we're going to say and not retract it because we're worried about somebody else's feelings. Right,
and how to recognize it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to recognize. Of course, we can, like you said, we can recognize physical, but I think, all the others are kind of hard to, not hard, but you got to know what you're looking for.
You got to know what you're looking for. You got to know what you have.
You've never been in that situation like, maybe he's just protective. No, he's not just protective.
No. Because it's protective now, but as soon as you guys get behind closed doors, it starts with a push. Then it starts with a, calling me out my name. You might drop a B-bomb one time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a strong believer. Any man that calls this woman a bitch, you out of pocket. You out of pocket. Because you know what that word means. It degrades us. It makes us feel devalued. You know what I'm saying? And you know when you call it to us, how you making us feel. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that gets on my nerves is when you ask your mate, how do I look today? And they're like, oh, you look all right. I look all right.
I need you to hype me up. You need to be my hype man.
You got to be my hype man because before we start laying down getting together, you was my biggest fan.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You was my biggest fan to the point, and ladies, I ain't lying. You know when you meet that dude and he vibing with that swag, you don't never walk out the house looking less than what he expects you to look like. You know what I'm saying? So as time progresses and you get comfortable and you're like, hey, babe, how do I look? Or am I gaining too much weight? If he's giving you these little vague answers, you have no interest in what I have interest in. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to hear a woman. It's another thing to listen to a woman. When we're asking questions, we're asking for validation from a person that we love, from a person that we care about, from a person that we think is going to give us an honest opinion about ourselves. Because for a woman to ask a man a question, which we don't really too much, it's just really a validation for something we already know. So if you can't give us that extra little bit, then you just don't care. Because when it's time for you to ask a question, we ramble. We ramble. Babe, my tires look good. Babe, your tires look great. I can't wait to drive that car. Did you just wash that car? Oh, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We always try to build them up. You know what I'm saying? Even at our worst, there's been times I've had arguments with my mate and didn't want to talk at all. But it's like someone has to be the bigger person because I have to submit because I want to make you feel better so that you could talk to me. But you're the man. You're the man. Why do I have to submit and be like, babe, can we talk? Or you still mad? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, why a man can't come and love me enough to be like, babe,
let's talk. I was right, you was wrong.
Yeah.
You was wrong, I was right.
Yeah. But it's a big, big issue with women. It's a big issue sometimes with men too. So I'm not going to discredit the man out there. There are some women who are very abusive. There's some women who like to play a lot of games. There's some women who like to smack on their dudes. You know what I'm saying? They're quick to put your hands on your dude. Like, your place as a woman is not to raise your hand to no man. Right. And then turn around and play victim or cry wolf as soon as he choke your ass out. Like, it don't work that way. And if, to me, honestly, sis, I don't know about you, but if a woman put her hands on a man, she must got a weak ass man. Because I don't think no man just going to allow no woman to be whipping on him.
Well, there are the ones that, they were raised not to hit a woman. So no matter how much this woman's hitting on him, he ain't gonna put his hand. There are some dudes like that out there.
Yeah.
That's
I can see that. I can see that. Because I raised my boys, don't hit a woman. But at the same time, I think, I probably contradict that because, a woman just can't walk up and just slap somebody in the face or, you know, a lot of times a man will go out and, you know, be promiscuous or be cheating, and a woman's first reaction is to get physical. You know, that's not your place. You know what I'm saying? As mad as you are, it's not your place to put your hands on a man. It's not your place to play games with a man's child. You know what I'm saying? That's psychological abuse.
You can't see your kids. No,
playing chess.
Don't do that.
You know, or want to keep calling all throughout the day, acting like the kid needs something. The kid don't need nothing. You just trying to see what he doing, being nosy, and again, psychological abuse, because now you're causing this man to be uncomfortable. He wants to deal with his daughter or son, but don't want to deal with you. But now he got to make something shake and deal with your craziness just to be a part of his kid's life. And that's unfair to him, because the next solid woman that he meets, he's going to compare the relationship that he just had with the current relationship he's trying to get in. No different than we do as women. You know what I'm saying? It's so hard to love in a new relationship when you're stuck in your past relationship.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? From the verbal to the physical to the psychological, everything that man did to you in that last relationship, you looking for the signs in the new one. Even if he ain't did it yet, you looking for the signs. And don't let nothing be similar. You be like, I ain't doing this again.
Yeah,
doing what?
You're right. Compare that. Bring all that baggage from the last relationship.
Yes. But again, you know, we're laughing and joking, but it really boils down to domestic violence, you know, and like you said, identifying the different types of domestic violence, identifying when you're trapped in a situation, whether it's physically or psychologically, and just knowing how to get out of it. Now, my thing is, I don't have the perfect remedy of how to escape a relationship that's inclusive with domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have children, you know, there's no good recommendation to tell anyone what to do in that scenario. The only thing I can do is say, just look for the signs prior to getting into a serious relationship. And if there's something that's just red flags, you need to pay attention to that.
Yeah, follow your gut.
I mean, sometimes we don't have the signs until we're already a year in the relationship, and then we say something or embarrass him and get home and he socks the shit out of us or something, or wants to see the phone, and you know, just this dumb stuff that starts all of a sudden. And it's just like, okay, are you acting this way because you out there cheating? You know what I'm saying? Because normally, statistically, that'd be the case. When the female's acting insecure, she out there doing something, or on the other end with a nigga talking about, we ain't like that, we just friends, but yet you still doing something. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the guy. You know, it's the same thing with the guy. But either way it goes, it does spawn into your children's lives. You know, if your children are watching you be abused, more than likely they are going to either be the abuser or they're going to be abused. If they're the woman, more than likely they'll follow the footsteps of their mother. If she was extra mannish, you know what I'm saying, and like to pick weak men so that she can dominate, you know what I'm saying, and control, then more than likely the child will follow, you know. It's a cycle. You know, if you were messing with a woman that is very submissive and allows a man to just kind of say and do whatever, and they're just like, you know, I'm really not even tripping. If you're not really tripping, then just, you should be able to walk away. If you're telling yourself you're not really tripping, or what he does don't bother you, but yet you know that it's out of order, then it shouldn't be a problem with just walking away from it. Like, why expose your kids to a situation that is going to affect them later on, you know? And domestic violence is just a real thing because, you know, people lose their lives over that. You know, women feel to the point where they'll say that I've had enough, and they'll end up doing something detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Because they've just had enough. But why you couldn't take care of it before you had enough and end up shooting someone or, you know what I'm saying? Just to share a quick story, my husband, my ex-husband, my first husband, I should say, used to always put his hands on me, you know, but it was never like a hit, you know, it was always like a push or a shove, you know, and I used to always tell him, dude, keep your hands off me, you know, keep your hands off me. And one night he's hiding in the house, don't even live with me at the time, hiding in some small corner. I'm on the phone chopping it up, you know, with my dude, my little friend, you know what I'm saying? And he pops out of the corner out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? Long story short, we get into this big argument. obviously when we were young, we watched mom and dad, you know what I'm saying, tussle and fight and argue when we used to be, you were real young, but we used to be sitting on the sofa watching our little Saturday cartoon block, and they'd be falling out all behind the sofa as if we ain't even sitting on the sofa. And I remember as a young girl, I used to always say, after watching mom cry and dad be so upset, like, I'll never let a man put his hands on me like that, you know? So when it happened with my ex-husband, I went outside to flatten his tires, and he ended up dipping me on the car trying to protect his tires, and I ended up stabbing him right here. And I was scared. I thought I was going to go to jail. I thought that man was going to lose his life. It was just so much. But mind you, at the time, you know how people say that they don't believe in people blacking out, you know. But at the time, I can honestly say all I knew was he threw me on the car and I was fighting back. You know, before I knew it, he was just like, you cut me, bitch, you know. And I'm just like, no, I didn't, blah, 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 you know. And then when I started seeing the blood like gushing out, I was just like, oh my gosh, like I cut him, you know. But this was 6 months of constantly, don't put your hands on me, don't put your hands on me, don't put your hands on me. You know what I'm saying? At what point did he not understand, don't put your hands on me? You know what I'm saying? And even though I didn't mean to harm him in any way, I had reached my breaking point with him putting his hands on me to where it was like, you know what? I just bought those brand new tires for that Mustang. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and put a flat in all 4 of those. You know what I'm saying? Let me hit him where it hurts type of thing, because he's hurting me. You know what I'm saying? But it ended up escalating, obviously, into something bigger than it was ever supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And I share that story because most domestic violence situations start off really small. And before you know it, it escalates to a level where the lady or man is either masking their pain, masking their bruises, you know what I'm saying, or masking their dialogue, you know. Oh, sis, you okay? You look stressed today. You know, everything all right with you and such and such? Yeah, girl, we doing just fine. You know how it be. But inside, you really want to shed so many tears because he just broke you down about 10 minutes ago, told you you ain't nothing. You always fucking tripping with him, getting on his nerves. Like, he's saying all these things to tear you down. And it's like, but when he's not in a good mood, he treats me so good.
Well, good is good when it's bad is bad.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. You should have a few problems, but not nothing to where your mind is affected, your heart is affected, your spirit and your soul is affected, and then you are physically showing, you know what I'm saying, that you've been affected, you know. It's discerning, you know, and then people that are watching you don't know what to tell you because they feel like, well, she's used to it. Right. You know, women, you know, we really take a while to maneuver out of something that's bad for us. So it's like people that really care about us don't want to usher any support because they feel like we're comfortable with it, you know? So it's just a trip, you know, domestic violence is a trip. I know there's hotlines and stuff out there for all that stuff. So a lot of people might not think that it's an important topic or that it needs to be kind of enlightened in a different view. But a lot of people don't call those hotlines. Yeah. A lot of people don't waste time on trying to get resources to get them out or go to a shelter. I mean, your number one resource would probably be your friend, not even your family, because sometimes, again, your family feel like, oh, girl, you be all right. Y'all just going through it again. You know, not realizing that one time might be the time that you're really, really wanting someone to save you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You really, really want to get out of that house, or you really, really want to get your kids into a better situation, or you really, really want to start saving money and you tired of paying for this nigga to live. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it's like those type of situations, again, that is mental and psychological abuse. When you are trapped and feel that there's no way out, no other resource, but yet it's self-inflicted because you're there because you want to be, you know? It's just a trip. It's a trip. And I feel sorry for anyone that can't get out of a situation right now. I don't feel sympathy for you. I feel empathy because I know that it's hard, you know.
But there's a way.
Yeah, I know that it's hard, but you have to make the choice and you have to stick with it. And as with everything, You know, there's always a better situation after the storm. You know, a storm can sometimes last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or sometimes a storm could last 30 minutes, 30 days, an hour. But either way it goes, go through that storm, hold your head up high, and make sure that you value your self-worth, because that's who you are. That's what you're made of. And if anyone can't value what you already value, then they're not the ones for you. You know, 2021, this is not the year to be disrespected. This is not the year to be devalued. This is not the year to even be talked to crazy. You know, if you can't talk to me the right way, you can't approach me the right way, I ain't got nothing to say to you. The world's too big for me to deal with your dumb ass. That's it. That's all. So hopefully everyone enjoyed the quick segment. Again, we just wanted to kind of touch bases on that. It's a big topic. I mean, to cover so many areas, it'll take a year. You know, everyone has a story of being abused, feeling abused, or just being in a situation that is attached to someone being abused and not knowing how to navigate through that, because your love for the person that's involved and your consideration for how they feel. Most people in domestic violence situations don't want to leave. They feel like this is love. They feel like this is where they're meant to be. There's a purpose there. But it's not.
That's not the case.
But it's not.
It's not the case.
It's not. It's up to each one of us to find a man or woman that appreciates our conversation, loves our time, and enjoys our heart. The heart can be a very sensitive thing. So know how to navigate your heart and know how to not let your heart be destroyed and feel it later on down the road. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst. That's the worst. Anyhow, I wanted to say something really quick. Girl, you're going to laugh.
What?
So, I go to the comedy club the other night, right? With my coworker.
Right down Nevada?
No, I went to Looney's.
Okay.
Yeah, they're back open. Because, you know, Friday, everything just opened back up. So, mind you, I'm giving my coworker a ride home. He's like, I know the owner, you know what I'm saying, at the little club. We should go through there. I'm like, sure, we can stop there, you know, while I'm dropping you off. So, you know, I'm sitting there, and obviously it feels good to rub elbows with new people. You know what I'm saying? I told him I used to come to his establishment, you know, before. It's a decent little thing. Getting all kind of free drinks. You know, I'm in there like Flynn, you know, doing my thing. So, girl, I get ready to go to the bathroom. Girl, while I go to the bathroom, and I look, and I get ready to pull some tissue down, there's no tissue!
Bro, that's gone now. Can you hear me?
Girl, there was no one in there. Everyone, but girl, I had to shake. Girl, I was shaking so goddamn hard. Girl, I had to shake. You know me, I'm a little bougie. I don't like nothing dripping, so I had to wait and see. And then I was like looking out the stall because I was like, I gotta make this move. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make this move, so I gotta make sure nobody coming in. I gotta make my way to the other stall with my pants down so I can go get some tissue, because I just can't drip dry and pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about y'all that be drip drying out there, but I can't do it. I can't feel nothing wet in my panties other than the regular discharge that's supposed to be in there. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm like looking out the door. I was like, okay, now's the time, girl. Go over there. Oh my gosh, that would have been so embarrassing.
You looking at them, they looking at you. Like,
I'd have been, you know that first look when you look stupid? I would have been so embarrassed. I was so mad, and I wanted to go out and tell the owner, like when I sat back down, like, y'all need to do a bathroom check. But then I'm like, nah, again, you know.
So you're going to be the next person.
It is. That's why I said again, not doing the right thing, not having any integrity. But I'm just like, you know what? This experience is just embarrassing. So I don't want to go in there like, oh, y'all ain't got no toilet tissue in one of them stalls, because it's going to be like, how you know? You know? I don't want to tell you that I just had
Silly.
to double dutch my way over to the other stall to get 3 plies to wipe my ass. But girl, that was crazy. Have you ever had that happen?
No, never.
You've never been in a public restroom and went to the stall?
I always look before I sit. I look at stuff and make sure I have tissue.
Oh, do you?
I do.
I really don't.
I do.
And then I think it's, I'm going to go ahead and blame the establishment. I think it's misleading because the little tissue dispenser is covered. You know what I'm saying? It's that gray covering.
I know the silver one. There's one on top, one on bottom.
No, this is like the big one with the gray covering, and you can kind of see the wheel in there. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't look. But when I went like that,
just stuck.
Girl, that's the worst, trying to drip dry. I didn't know what to do. But I thought that was kind of funny, girl. I was just like, oh my gosh. It's always something. It was pretty funny, though. But I had a good time. Like I said, I got a chance to rub elbows with some business owners, and hopefully that'll be a good thing. The next time we go out, you know what I'm saying, he'll remember our name, and I threw him a nice little tip that night, so he damn sure gonna remember my name. Yes, yeah, the bartender, he only charged us like $7 for 4 drinks, you know what I'm saying? And I had like a cocktail, and the rest were just like beers. But yeah, so I was like, I just threw him a 20, and the bartender was like, I'll get your change right out. I was like, no, you can have it. He's like, for real, all this? It's $13, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's $13, dude. Y'all just gave us hella drinks for $7. Like, yeah, that $13 is for you. And again, it's all about integrity. You know, you treat me right, I treat you right. I shouldn't have to wait for an opportunity to pay it forward. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just pay it forward. You ain't gotta wait.
Integrity.
Integrity's big. Man, integrity's big. I was like, dang, I didn't even want to tell I didn't tell my husband that story yet. So he gonna see this on here, and he probably gonna be like, you was at the comedy club. You ain't gonna hear nothing about the tissue and me being stranded in the stall. You know what I'm saying? That's all he gonna hear right there. You was at the comedy club. Thought you was coming home from work. You know, I'm a server. It's a server world. You know how it is. You gotta make a few stops after work. But we thank you for tuning in. Always. We're always gonna tune in to be with you, of course, every week, coming to you, same time, same place. And I guess that's it for tonight.
Like, subscribe, and comment.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's it. Obviously, there'll be a lot more going on for the first month of the year. So I'm pretty sure we'll have some more current events to kind of throw out there for you guys. Torsha is going to bring the topic for next week. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully we can get into some juicy stuff. Talk about some penises. Be like this size, this size, this size, that size. But now hopefully we can get into some more juicier comments as we start. We're halfway through our little season or whatever. We got about 12 episodes we're going to give you guys. I think we're on 5 right now. So we're going to try to step up our game and definitely start getting a little bit more serious as the year progresses. Everybody keep in mind, next month is Black History Month. It's only 28 days, so start thinking about it now. Don't just let it pass you as the shortest day of the month. It'll be here in 3 weeks, Black History Month, starting February 1st through February 28th. We only got 28 days to celebrate every Black person that made 200 inventions in the United States of America, but we can do it. We can celebrate 28 days every day. So, yeah. As you know, our saying, you ready? I am great. I will be great. And
I will do great things.
Remember that, because we are women. We're powerful. We're strong. We're valuable. We're the shit. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Have a good night.
Appreciate you. Bye.